Hi all, welcome back to a new session. Today we are discussing about a topic called diagnosis of pregnancy. Before that, just a word about the duration of pregnancy. The duration of pregnancy is 10 lunar months or 9 calendar months and 7 days. It's about 280 days or 40 weeks. All these can be asked as a question. Calculated from the first day of the last menstrual period, that is LMP, and this is called menstrual or gestational age. The true gestation period is to be calculated by subtracting 14 days from 280 days. That's about 266 days. This is called fertilization or ovulatory age. Now we are passing on to the first trimester. So the first trimester is the first 12 weeks. So it can be a multiple choice question. What are the symptoms in the first trimester? The subjective symptoms or the presumptive symptoms in the first trimester include amenorrhea, morning sickness, that is nausea and vomiting, frequency of micturition, breast discomfort, and fatigue. The objective signs, first one is breast changes. It is evident from the weeks 6 and 8, and the changes include enlargement with vascular engorgement. You can see the picture given in the slide. The nipple and the areola become more pigmented. That is the primary areola. The primary areola become more pigmented. And there is Montgomery's tubercle, which are prominent. And thick yellowish secretion, that is colostrum, can be expressed from 12th week onwards. So these are the breast changes. Now, per abdomen, the uterus remains a pelvic organ until 12th week. It may be just felt per abdomen as a suprapubic bulge. The pelvic changes collectively may be informative in arriving at a diagnosis of pregnancy. So what are the changes? First one is Jacquemus or Chadwick's sign. It's a local vascular congestion causing bluish hue of the vestibule and anterior vaginal wall. It is visible at about 8th week of pregnancy. So bluish discoloration of the vestibule and anterior vaginal wall, that is called Jacquemus or Chadwick sign. Next is Osiander's sign. There is an increased pulsation felt through the lateral fornices at 8th week. And other one is Goodell sign. The cervix becomes soft as early as 6th week. And regarding the uterus is enlarged to the size of a hen's egg at the 6th week, the size of a cricket ball at 8th week, and size of a fetal head by 12th week. The uterus becomes globular by around 12 weeks. Then Piscasek signs, there is a lateral implantation occurring in the uterus, then one half is more firm than the other half. So if there is lateral implantation, the one half of the uterus is more firm than the other half. That is called Piscasek sign. Another one is Hagar sign. It is demonstrated between 6 and 10 weeks. On bimanual examination, that is two fingers in the anterior fornix and the abdominal fingers behind the uterus. You can see the picture. The abdominal and vaginal fingers seems to oppose below the body of the uterus. That is called Hagar's sign. Next is Palmer's sign. A regular and rhythmic uterine contraction can be elicited during bimanual examination as early as 4 to 8 weeks. Then USG or ultrasonography, that is intradecidual gestational sac, is identified as early as 29 to 35 days of gestation. So very important finding, the finding of gestational sac. And regarding the pregnancy test, so several tests are there to test the pregnancy. The commonly used one are the immunological tests done with urine. So the first one is agglutination inhibition test. It's a latex based test and it takes around 2 minutes, and in that if there is absence of agglutination, the pregnancy is found to be positive, and it is positive on 2 days after the missed period. So you can do agglutination inhibition test 2 days after, even after 2 days after missed period. The second one is direct latex agglutination test. Here also the time taken to do the test is 2 minutes, and here the presence of agglutination is positive. It can also be done 2 to 3 days after missed period. Then the third one is two-site sandwich immunoassay, and it takes around 4 to 5 minutes. And color bands in the control as well as in the test window appears. You can see the lower picture, C and T. The control and test both becomes colored, so then it will be positive. And if it is not pregnant, only the control band is found positive. The test band is not appearing. So that is the card test, also the two-site sandwich immunoassay. Next one is enzyme-linked immunosorbent assay, that is ELISA. It can be done 5 days before and the first missed period. So it can be done 5 days before the first missed period. So it's an earlier one. And the time taken to do is 2 to 4 hours. The last one is radio immunoassay. So the beta subunit assay, that is 25th day of the cycle, it can be positive. And immunoradiometric assay, IRMA, 8 days after conception it is positive. So these are the common pregnancy tests. The commonly done are the immunological test using urine. Next is transvaginal ultrasonography or transvaginal USG. Here gestational sac and yolk sac are seen by 5 weeks, and fetal pole and cardiac activity can also be elicited by 6 weeks. Embryonic movements by 7 weeks, and fetal gestational age is best determined by measuring the CRL, the crown rump length, between 7 and 12 weeks. There will be a variation of plus or minus 5 days regarding the gestational age if you are calculating with this formula. Then Doppler effect of ultrasound can pick up fetal heart rate reliably by 10th week. So fetal heart rate is felt by Doppler effect by around 10th week. Now we are passing on to the second trimester. The second trimester period is 13 to 28 weeks. Nausea, vomiting and frequency of micturition usually subside, and while amenorrhea continues. The important sign in second trimester is quickening, that is the feeling of life. It denotes perception of active fetal movements by the women. It is usually felt at about 18 weeks, about 2 weeks earlier in multipare. Progressive enlargement of the lower abdomen by the growing uterus is another important sign in the second trimester. And on general examination, there will be cloasma. What is cloasma? It's a pigmentation over the forehead and cheek. It may appear at about 24th week. And there will be breast changes. All breast changes we have already discussed. These all changes will become prominent. And on abdominal examination, there will be linea nigra. What is linea nigra? These are linear pigmented zone extending from symphysis pubis to ensiform cartilage. It may be visible as early as 20th week. Then there will be striae gravidarum. So both pink and white of varying degree will be visible in the lower abdomen, more towards the flanks. And next is fundal height. It is increased with progressive enlargement of the uterus. Approximate duration of pregnancy can be ascertained by noting the height of the uterus in relation to different levels in the abdomen. The height of the uterus is midway between symphysis pubis and umbilicus at 16th week. At the level of umbilicus, it is 24th week, and at the junction of lower third and upper 2/3 of the distance between umbilicus and ensiform cartilage at 28th week. So by around 36 weeks, it will reach the xiphoid process, and by 40 weeks, it will go downwards at the level of 34 weeks. So that is called lightening. So there will be falling down of uterus by around 40 weeks. You can see the picture and understand at the various levels. The uterus feels soft and elastic and becomes ovoid in shape. The Braxton Hicks contractions are evident. We have already discussed all these things in the previous classes. Palpation of fetal parts can be felt distinctly by around 20th week. Active fetal movements can be felt at intervals by placing hands over the uterus by around 20 weeks. Then external ballotment is usually elicited as early as 20th week. So you can see the external ballotment picture. Then fetal heart sound is the most conclusive clinical sign of pregnancy. So it's a question, which is the most conclusive clinical sign of pregnancy. It is none other than fetal heart sound. With an ordinary stethoscope, it can be detected between 18 to 20 weeks. The rate varies from 110 to 160 beats per minute. Internal ballotment can be elicited between 16 to 28 weeks. So that is the picture of internal ballotment. The fetus is too small before 16 weeks and too large to displace after 28 week for the internal ballotments. Now regarding the sonography or ultrasounds, routine sonography at 18 to 20 weeks permits a detailed survey of fetal anatomy, placental localization and integrity of the cervical canal. Gestational age is determined by measuring the biparietal diameter, that is BPD, then head circumference, that is HC, abdominal circumference AC, and femur length. You can see all these terminologies if you are taking a USG of a woman who is pregnant. So by estimating all these things, the gestational age can be determined ultrasonographically. Then regarding the last trimester, that is 29 to 40 weeks, the symptoms include amenorrhea persists and the enlargement of abdomen is progressive. And as I already told, there is lightening. At about 38 week, especially in primigravide, a sense of relief of the pressure symptoms is obtained due to engagement of the presenting part. So when the presenting part engages into the pelvis, the fetus will go down. So the uterus will go down from the symphysis pubis, symphysis sternum, so that the women will feel a kind of light feeling, will be comfortable. So that is called lightening, a sense of relief of the pressure symptoms. Then there will be frequency of micturition reappearing, and fetal movements are more pronounced. Regarding the signs, there will be cutaneous changes. We have already discussed. These will be more prominent with increased pigmentation and striae. The uterine shape is changed from cylindrical to spherical beyond 36 weeks. The fundal height is the distance between the umbilicus and the ensiform cartilage is divided into 3 equal parts. The fundal height corresponds to the junction of the upper and the middle third of the at 32 weeks up to the level of ensiform cartilage at 36 weeks and become down to 32 week level at 40th week because of the engagement of the presenting part. Then symphysis pubis, so symphysis fundal height SFH. After 24 weeks, the SFH measures in centimeter corresponds to the number of weeks up to 36 weeks. A variation of plus or minus 2 weeks is accepted as normal. Then Braxton Hicks contraction are more evident. Fetal movements are easily felt. Palpation of the fetal parts and their identification becomes much easier. Lie, presentation and position of the uterus are determined. Then regarding the summary of diagnosis of pregnancy, the positive or absolute signs. Which are the positive or absolute signs? Palpation of fetal parts and perception of active fetal movements by the examiner at about 28th week. Auscultation of fetal heart sounds. Then ultrasound evidence of embryo as early as 6th week and later on the fetus. The radiological demonstration of the fetal skeleton at 16th week and onwards. Then the presumptive symptoms and signs include, these are the features appreciated by the women, include amenorrhea, frequency of micturition, morning sickness, fatigue, breast changes, skin changes, and quickening. The probable signs of pregnancy include abdominal enlargement, Braxton Hicks contractions, external ballotment, outlining of the fetus, changes in the size and shape and consistency of uterus, Jacquemus sign, softening of the cervix, Osiander's sign, internal ballotment, and immunological test. Regarding the estimation of gestational age and prediction of expected date of delivery, the gestational age is about 280 days as we have already mentioned, and it is calculated from the first day of last menstrual period, that is LMP. So the commonly used formula is Naegele's formula. It is useful only if the periods are regular. It is by adding 9 calendar months and 7 days to the first day of the last normal menstrual period. Alternatively, one can count back 3 calendar months from the first day of the last menstrual period, then add 7 days to get the expected date of delivery. So that's all for today. We will be up with a new episode of a new topic. So thank you. If you have not subscribed this channel yet, kindly subscribe this channel by clicking the subscribe button below.